show you guys the decked box, but she's frozen. All right, so we'll give it a little quick 2-year review on the decked truck box. This is my 2020 Silverado 1500 with the baby Duramax, and when I ended up buying this, I ended up putting in the decked box. I had it shipped to the house and then ended up building it myself. So far, very impressed with it. The one thing I did really have to kind of adjust in it is if you are hauling something palletized or tall, it's going to sit on top of here. This can support about 3,000 pounds. So if you're hauling like a pallet of wood pellets or something like that, or mulch or whatnot, which is what I was doing, you do need to get used to how high that is now sitting up, because it's not sitting in the base of the bed. It kind of gives you a feeling that the truck is going to be a little top heavy and tippy, but all in all, once you get used to that, it's not that bad. You just make sure you strap everything down in the corner pockets right there. The drawers, I love them. When I bought it though, I didn't originally buy the dividers. I ended up buying those after the fact. I didn't think I was going to end up using these. I mean, they offer it in the box, the like toolbox, when you go to buy it, and I really didn't think I was going to need it. And then when I ended up starting to throw all this stuff in here, I realized it was a lot easier to keep it organized and keep it from sliding around while I was driving. This thing, it's basically a ruler. I don't use it. I've got a tape measure. I mean, I guess if you're into like sports and you're doing fishing and stuff, you can throw a fish on there, see how long your fish is. But out of all the screws, they warn you when you're building this, so like not to strip out the pieces that set in the plastic. These two right here, those are the two that I ended up stripping out. The entire rest of the deck, I didn't end up doing that, but I'm sure you could just end up pulling the things that go into the plastic. I can probably take those out, put some Gorilla Glue on it, and everything will be good to go. But it went together pretty easily. You can see that in a prior video. I'll link that in the description. I really wish these came out further. You've got maybe about a quarter to a third of the drawer that is still inside underneath the deck. If you've got something that's like tucked in inside, or if you are using these in like the cooler option where it's got the drain plug in the back there for like ice and stuff like that, you know, I still got like a third or a quarter that is tucked in underneath the base plate. So I do wish it came out a little bit further. It might. I haven't been able to figure out if it does, but like I said, I've had this for 2 years. If I haven't figured it out yet, it probably doesn't do it. If you know, let me know, and then that way I won't have to complain about it. But they roll really easily. This kit came with some bolts to drop down the bed supports. I didn't end up needing that on this one, even though it was recommended for this model. There's about a 1/16 of clearance underneath these drawers, so it's not rubbing on the underside of the tailgate. So I didn't necessarily think that was really going to be an issue, so didn't end up swapping them out. Now, I have seen some promotional stuff where they are putting guns in these drawers, like your long guns, you're going hunting or whatnot. If you were traveling someplace where there's going to be inclement weather, I mean, it might be great in the desert, but if there's going to be snow to where you're traveling, or maybe even rain, these boxes are not watertight. Before I ended up putting the tonneau cover on my truck, I would notice that snow would get in this little lip right here. So the blowing snow would come in behind the tailgate, and then it would get in through that little rip. There is a rubber seal on it. It does keep it watertight for the most part, but as I said, before I added the tonneau cover, which obviously kept the bed completely covered, all of that stuff was getting some misty water and dry snow. If you're blowing dry snow, it was getting into those little cracks and crevices. Fitment was very easy on this. It went in perfectly. I have noticed that over the time, which I kind of figured that I would gonna have to do anyway, the 4 anchor bolts that are in each corner in these little ammo cans that they call, I have had to tighten those down because it will get a little bit of a rattle underneath it. I've only had to do that once or twice, 2 times since the 2 years that I have owned it. So, would I recommend buying the deck box again? Absolutely. I have put this thing through hell. It has had pallets, it has had equipment, it has had my tractor bump into it, scratch things right across the top of it, and it's not showing any gouges or any delamination of the plastic. It's built very, very well. It is held up, and I would strongly recommend it. Plus, I mean, it keeps everything out of your cab. You don't have to get the under-seat toolbox where you lose a little bit of maybe some space for storing the kids' clothes or whatever you want in there, but it moves it all out into the bed and keeps it out of the weather. I mean, other than a few of those things where I said that I would probably end up changing, if I was to trade this truck in, I would definitely swap this over to my new truck, or if I was ended up getting a different style truck, maybe not the Duramax or the Chevy, and go to with a different brand, I would definitely look at getting another deck box to put in that one. So I hope the little two-year review on this was beneficial to you. Maybe if you're looking in a deck box for your truck, that maybe could help you out a little bit. So hopefully you guys can follow along, like and subscribe, and throw some comments down below, and maybe be able to get down there and answer them for you. Thanks.